Hello, and welcome to the Project Stardust podcast. I'm Jordan, and with me I have Christian Terry, and we are going to talk about The Acolyte, episode 4 in particular. This is episode 3 of our podcast, so we appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. But we'll jump straight into it. Any first impressions you have, Terry? This is the episode 4.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a very straightforward episode. Really, I wouldn't say there was really any growth. Maybe one person, in my opinion, had growth in their character, but everybody else really just stayed the same. And it was just like it was setting things up for that main fight in the end, for that cliffhanger. So the next 4 episodes, because there's 8 episodes in the entire season, will be interesting from here on there. So, like I said, and the reason why I think this show got such great first impressions is because everybody got to watch the first 4 episodes all at once, So I'm kind of hoping from here it just goes on a positive slope. There's a lot of controversies on this episode we'll probably go into, but yeah. What did you think about it?
I liked it. Again, something I do mention, and I have mentioned the past 2 episodes that we've done, is the world building. Mm-hmm. We knew of the Acolyte being on a ludicrous $180 million budget, so seeing it on the TV, it has been neat to see. Genuinely has been. What else? One thing I still don't like is the cutting. I mean, I talked to you about this. It just feels like a movie that's been cut into episodes. So I don't feel fulfilled. Especially this episode, I did not feel as fulfilled finishing it, because it just, for me, it didn't resolve anything. It was just continuing on from the other episode as well.
Yeah,
that's just me personally, though.
Andor vibes. That's what I believe about Andor as well. It's like the way that these were written, they were written like movies, and then they try to make it an episode, which is cool. You could do that, but it just doesn't feel right. When you watch it all at once, it blends really well.
No, I agree. Which I think will help. Maybe, hopefully, people like the project as a much more, seeing it all together. Even maybe like a year later, like, oh, that project wasn't half bad, But like you mentioned, people were able to watch the first 4 episodes, so seeing it flow was probably really neat,
Yeah, and definitely, and they probably got to see it like a movie too. Like it was just straight, It wasn't like
definitely.
Okay, pause, and then we're gonna start episode 2. No, it was like I'm sure it was a really good flow. So.
And I did like the flow from episode 1 to episode 2 as well. So that's just me.
Yeah, no, it had a really good flow. Yeah, and exactly, that just proves that you're meant to watch this all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But which,
I get it. It's debatable, but
Disney
I'm not liking it.
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah. I'm a patient person. I could wait. I just want to know the story. I just want to know.
Yeah. But, no, I agree. Okay, so we can dive into episode 4. You ready?
Yeah.
So this is called episode 4 Day. We do open up to Kalnaka on Kofar. Something was interesting. I'm not sure if you even dived into it deeply as well, but we saw Kalnaka in that room with these symbols. Mm-hmm. Was it something that he's already having, or maybe something that he's walking into? Because it's the way that Kamira and Bailey described that place on Kofar. So it's like, oh, there's a perimeter, So was it? What did you think? Because I'm kind of confused on what I saw, like being the symbols in the building. Yeah. Something that has been happening prior to Kalnaka being there, or was Kalnaka already there and he was maybe making the symbols of what he remembered, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think he made those symbols because, like I said, all these characters.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, all these all those 4 Jedis that were there. Master Turbin, Master Inadra. Inadra, yeah.
Oh,
That the Matrix girl. That's
yeah.
Yeah. And then Soul. So they're all traumatized in their own way. So like I said, we still haven't seen the part of what they did or what happened, what fight went down. So that that's the key to all this. Why they're also
Mhm.
traumatized. Why do they see, the sign of the cult or the witch coven? Because that's what that like the symbol is.
Right.
It's like it's the
From their
witch coven.
coven.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
something stuck with him, and something really traumatized him to the point where he had to quit the order as well. So yeah, I just want to know already. I really want to know. But yeah, I think he made that there, and it seems like
Okay.
they're all punishing themselves in their own way. Maybe. Um, well, maybe not Master Inadra and Soul, but definitely Kenlaka and Master
Indara. That I just looked it up.
Indara. Indara.
Indara.
Master Indara. Yeah, so
That's it. Yeah.
definitely.
Just want to make sure it's correct. Yeah.
Oh no, you're good. So I would say out of the four, half of them were like feeling guilty. They had such a guilty conscience. Master Torben took that vow. Kenlaka
Definitely him.
isolated himself on that planet. So
Hmm.
something for sure happened. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I do agree with you, especially going with the theme of Master Torben as well.
hmm
Um, Briefing for those 10 years. I can totally see that, him making the symbols of what he remembered being there as
yeah,
well. And like you mentioned, I didn't see anything, but his lightsaber wasn't present on his waist or anything, right?
I didn't see anything
Did
about
you
that
see
either.
anything? Okay,
No,
okay.
I think he got
Okay.
rid of it. To be honest with you, but I didn't see it
Mhm.
present.
Okay, and we jump straight to Coruscant to see Jekulon training. I thought it was a cool sequence,
Yeah,
especially, like you said, just seeing the training rooms as well has been neat. So we see her training there, and she even runs into Osha before Osha is said to leave.
yeah,
What do you think there? I firstly thought it seemed like there was a connection between them two, but then you did mention to me that it seemed like it was friendly because they were probably trained under Master Soul together. Which
yeah.
after watching it, that's the sense I got. But as you mentioned, you could go into it.
Yeah, I just felt like it was another sisterly bond because you share the same master. So when you share the same master, to me it seems like you're like sibling students. Even though there's not
Mm.
supposed to be a connection, but you already have that relationship. Like, oh well, my master trained you. That's the vibe I got from it. But then Daphne Keene, the person that plays as the Padawan Jekka, is it Jekka or
Yeah,
yeah,
Jackie Lon.
Jackie Long, excuse me. Daphne Keene who plays as Jackie. Um, yeah, she said that there was some emotion there, like that they were kind of flirting with each other. I don't know. I didn't get that vibe. I didn't think of it that way. I just thought of it like, oh, they share the same master. They got mutual respect for each other, like a sisterly sibling. Um, I guess Padawans, because they have the same
Mm.
master. So yeah, but yeah, you said you watched it the second time and you felt that vibe as well, right? Like,
Second time, it felt friendlier. The first time, I
yeah,
was like, "Oh, is there something there?" But the second time, I don't know. I felt that there was just more of a friendly connection
yeah.
there.
I was vice versa too. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, I guess you could say it's relations. Like, I was a little, but I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Uh, um, into the title sequence, do you think it's changing? Is it almost aligning?
Yeah,
The
they
O,
clip.
right?
Yeah, they clip.
Okay,
That's like what's happening there. Yeah, you start
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
like
okay.
a light through it. So it makes me wonder if like the light's gonna shine through, and then we're gonna be like fully what's the word? I guess whatever that they did. I mean, the symbol that they used that for though, it was to mark the symbol on the foreheads. That's what I'm
Correct.
guessing. The
Yeah.
power of my one and everything like that. So yeah, I guess it's that. Yeah, it's a sense of enlightenment. Who knows?
Briefly, I don't. I can't make any connection or with evidence, but it seems to me that OSHA and May might be aligning and
Yeah, yeah.
continuing the same path.
Oh, that's a great symbolism
Just
right
a quick
there.
observation. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was very symbolic.
yeah, no, definitely. And then it kind of like shows a lot because that day on episode 3, when they're doing their chant and everything, it shows that
Mm.
that day is like very powerful in the Force. I don't know if it's connected to the Force. I don't want to just like blur stuff out there, but from my understanding, it looked like they were. I don't know. It just seemed like a really good day to use the Force for some reason. I was like,
Well, it
okay,
worked, right? It
yeah, yeah,
worked.
yeah. So
It
who
worked.
knows? Like I said, they
They
could
were
have been
born
born.
out of it.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
born
yeah,
out of
exactly.
it.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
interesting.
And then back to the Jedi, we say meeting room. We see Master Mundi, which was neat. We did confirm it. We looked at it. It's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Wikipedia. People were a little upset just because they updated it. to
Yeah.
fit the canon of what it is now.
I mean, they own it now. You know, they can do what they want with it. We had this
Mhm.
talk before this, but like, uh, all the stuff that we know about Master Mundi is like from books and background stuff that George signed off on. But things change, and things. We were really going off legends, and now we're doing stuff based off some stuff of legends and some stuff off of canon. So Dave Filoni does a really good job of like obtaining legend stuff, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this into the story and make it canon. And then sometimes he's just like, this is kind of unnecessary. I'm gonna leave this out and write it better, And then that's his take on it because he works for
Yeah,
Disney, So
yeah. And then they do discuss May's situation. Um,
yeah,
she meets 4 Jedis in total, and I'm rewatching it again. They said including Soul, because Vernestra looks at Soul as like, hey, it's you two. You're the 4th one.
Yeah, you're there. Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. Vernestra also states it's something that if the High Council is to inform the Senate, it's not have to be a Jedi fix because there's going to be fear and mistrust in the council if it gets out.
Yeah,
and they do mention they do mention that May will not surrender without getting something she wants, which is, from what I believe, is just why they bring Osha.
Yeah, no, that's definitely it, because we already see it that May's mind has been changed because of Osha. So that's definitely that. But on the other note, though, for Master Venestra, and I like the way Soul says it, so I say it like him because
Venestra.
No, it's just really interesting to see her way of it, like, and it really makes me think about how every person that becomes a Sith or everybody that becomes a fallen Jedi says that the Jedi have lost their ways. This seems like the peak of it, or like the beginning of it. And I'm wondering if they're really trying to stress that in the storytelling. I'm not trying to defend it or anything, but I'm just trying to really make sense of it. And I'm just wondering, hey, are these like the foreshadowing little clues that they're trying to throw at us? Like, hey, we're going to have to keep this on the down low, even though that's not the right thing. And I get it too, because I'm trying to think of it like in their perspective. Like, if we let this out, that means our enemies and everybody can go against us. That means that it makes us look weak as a council, because that means anybody can go around killing a Jedi, and then that can start a war or something against them. But no, but she says other stuff too, which really foreshadows a lot. How she mentions like this might be the tipping point, and how the scales are gonna change, and there's probably more to this. And I don't know, it's just a lot of foreshadowing, a lot. And I'm like, damn, like what else does she know, or what else? I don't know. It just reminds me of like the prequels, when they're like, oh, there's always an apprentice, or there's always a master to the apprentice, and everything, all this stuff. And then one more thing off this, because I also want to talk about this, because everybody was saying that it was very controversial. But the Master Mundi, about how they're like, well, he said in Phantom Menace that there hasn't been a Sith. And obviously that's what I've been going off on in the entire series. I'm like, okay, maybe all these people are going to die, because Mundi had always said, there hasn't been a reported Sith in 1,000 years. So from the writer I saw on Twitter that wrote this episode, she also mentioned the same thing I thought, that Master Mundi only saw the video of May fighting, and that it was possible she was trained by a Jedi. So that doesn't necessarily mean that she's a Sith.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know she's not a Sith. She's an Acolyte. She's someone that wants to be a Sith, but it hasn't been revealed yet. And even then, we don't even know if the person they're fighting right now is considered a Sith. They could be. I could be wrong. But what if they're just a Force user with a lightsaber? That may not align with a Jedi. And does that mean that everybody who doesn't align with a Jedi is a Sith?
Yeah, which we'll definitely go into more in the predictions section. It's just a lot of confusing things that we haven't got all the pieces to, so we're just going based off of predictions at that point. Yeah. We can get back to Kolfar, which is a conversation between Khmer and May that I did want to mention, was that May made a deal with him, and Khmer says, how he is, he collects people, and then May says, have you seen his face? Khmer continues the subject as well. There's a lot of suspicious things going on right there. And then Khmer mentions Soul, and May just gets a little upset. So I wonder if there's like a little envy there, just because Soul was able to connect with her sister, But a lot of suspicious things going on between Khmer and May in general.
Yeah.
in terms
No,
of the mysterious figure.
yeah, definitely. And like obviously the show's trying to make it look like, oh yeah, like we're gonna do we're gonna make it look predictable. I hope it's not that predictable, but
I
obviously
hope
it looks
not.
like yeah, it looks like it's pointing towards him. But I really think he knows who's under the mask, and I don't think it's him. I think it's the mom. We talked about this. I think it's one of the
I
mothers,
don't
but
think
I think it
so.
might be the main mother. You don't think it's him under the mask?
Yeah. No,
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
think
him.
it's him at all.
Oh yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's him at all. Yeah, yeah. Say, I
Yeah.
used to think it was him because it made sense at the time, but now like
Yeah.
the reason why he's acting all awkward is because he knows that it's one of the mothers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
similar. It's similar.
Weird. Yeah, a weird draw from evidence with the Funko Pops they usually release with the show. He
Yeah.
is a Funko Pop figure, so
Mhm.
definitely you would think there's some bigger relevance that he has to the show and to these characters. But I don't know. I feel like it's trying to it's what's it?
Deflecting. Yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
deflecting from it. So
yeah. They're
I
trying to
don't know.
make it
I
mystery.
don't. Yeah,
But at
I
the
don't
same
think.
time, when the show first came out, I saw on like Reddit people were saying though that his name popped up twice because he was playing two roles in the show. So I don't know. I
Really?
just found this,
Alright.
yeah, I just found this out recently. So I don't know whether it's a rumor or it's true or not. But at the same time, if it is one of the mothers, they kept it really locked down tight because not a lot of people are thinking that right now. But I think it's one of the mothers because
Yeah.
I don't want to just jump ahead, but like the mom, the main mom, Mother Anissa, that's the main one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
You see, yeah.
She wears those like leather bands on her arm. So then when we see the Sith, he's holding the one lightsaber, and then his other arm, they have the leather band right there. And I think it's one of the moms. It has to be. It looks like that mom is one of the the witches from there. Whether she
Yeah.
turned Sith and she became like another Asajj, who knows? You know?
Yeah. We introduced to this new character, Basil, which was neat. It was so cool, like a little gopher or pet. um,
Yeah.
we didn't really mention it just because we personally felt that the writing was a little weird there. Where Basil is mentioned per OSHA. Oh, is he like with us or are they with us? Kind of thing. It was. I get the inclusion of it, but in the writing sense of it, it kind of fell off for me. And you
Yeah.
mentioned too,
Yeah, it just
just a
felt
little
really
bit.
weird. It's like, oh, that
Yeah,
was forced, Like all the other stuff was cool.
yeah,
Like the mom, obviously I didn't have a problem with
yeah,
both of them having moms and be like, oh, we made them. I didn't care about that. I thought that was a cool
yeah,
concept. I was like, okay, I believe something like that. Star Wars. But then that other
yeah,
stuff, I was like, okay, this is a little forced. You're making this a little too
a
realistic,
little
which is
bit.
okay. But I was like, huh. And then it was
Yeah,
funny too because I rewatched it and Yord. Because she tried to say the same thing, and he was like, he's like, he. And that's, it's funny that they have Yord, like, directing her. Because, Yord's a little goody two-shoes, and I don't
yeah,
know. But, yeah, some funny stuff right there, though. Funny stuff.
yeah. I did want to mention something about Euro just because we're kind of going with everyone's story arc and trying to see
Yeah.
how they change. But Euro mentions like, hey, that's property of the Jedi's, her Osha's blaster. So again,
Yep.
it kind of goes with our theme that how he's very to the book and like very
Yes.
stern and almost tries to fit in or prove something, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. He always has something to prove. I mean, but who knows? It's
Mm.
going to be interesting. I'm kind of hoping in the next episode when the fight happens and everything, we're gonna see if the show is one of those shows where they build it up to make you like these characters, and then they kill them off like Game of Thrones style. you know,
Yeah.
'Cause who knows? Everyone's
Um,
starting to like Yord now, but yeah,
yeah, that'd be funny. May gets into altercation with Camille, where she's like, "I don't need to do this with you at all anymore,"
yeah,
because May feels that she's already fulfilled it by killing
Mhm.
the other prior Jedi Masters, and she wants to be loyal to Osha. I did want to mention that it feels a little conflicting just because we saw back on Coruscant, Osha was like, oh, even to Yured, right? She mentions to him, hey, I might not be able to do it, but, she's too far gone. Like, there's no bringing her back to it.
yeah,
I thought it was a cool contrast because I thought it felt different from when May, back when we were younger, would be more inclined to have not feel like she could change, right? So now
Yeah.
seeing as though that she's able to um, be like, hey, I don't need to do this anymore. I have Osha. I just need to reunite with her, and then we'll be good.
Yeah.
Um, I thought that was a little odd. We can get into the juicy part in which we see Kanaka murdered. I thought it was a cool shot just because we see May's face and it slightly turn darker as the theme of the eclipse and everything. That was a neat shot.
That's good. I didn't
So
think about that. That's right. That's right.
mhm. Yeah, so there's that, and then you want to kind of get into who is possibly under this mask.
Yeah, I feel like I think, like I said, I think it's one of the mothers because that makes the most sense to me. Really,
Mm.
it feels like there's that weird connection because Osha, when she freezes and looks at this person, when they're floating straight down, which is like sinister as hell because it looks kind of creepy, and they're looking at each other. Besides her, like,
That was creepy.
yeah, besides the Sith or the person, the character, we don't know if the Sith pushes Osha out the way. They have a little stare down and they look at each other, and Osha senses her right away, or senses that Sith
Yeah.
person or whatever. So it just makes me wonder if it is one of the mothers behind that mask. But what do you think?
Mm. Mentioning the float down too, I thought it was very sinister and it was a cool play. Just
Yeah.
not comparing the two, but Darth Vader's entrances and which we do see him.
Yeah.
Examples like I think of on the top of my head is Rogue One and even the video game Jedi, not Survivor, Fallen Order, in which he is revealed. I thought it was a cool reveal seeing this mysterious figure calm down, as sinister as it is. So
Yeah.
thinking who it is though, I'm with you. I think it's Mother and Nisea.
Yeah.
I know when we leave in the episode 3, when Osha leaves, she sees Mother Anastasia's body right on the floor as she's leaving, but it's the other mother that we don't see.
The
Did
other.
you see her body?
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't see.
We saw
I don't
both
even-
bodies.
I don't remember seeing her body. The Dathomir.
Anastasia? Yeah, the Dathomir one.
Yeah. No,
Didn't
we
see her
didn't.
body. Okay.
See, that's what. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's why I felt like. No. But that's why I felt like. My bad. I'm sorry. That's why I felt she was the mother. No, not the mother. She was like the person pulling all the strings and everything. Because I felt like it was her instead of the main mother.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows now? Because I feel like you made a very good, I guess, point that it could be the other mother, Mother Anissa. So I don't know. I can see both, one or the other.
Okay, so who do you think it is?
I have no idea.
It's one or the other?
Yeah, it's one or the other,
Okay.
but it's like, if it's 50-50, I'm going to go with 60-40, and 60% of me believes it's the Dathomir-looking mom, because
Yeah, really,
she's
okay.
the one that was against all that, and she already had, like, some vibe to her, but 40% of me is also like, I can see the other mother, too, like what you said, how she lied, that she might have been like, oh, sure, you can go with the Jedi,
Mhm.
and, but yeah, that's why I was thinking about it. I was looking at some notes from previous episodes, but that's what I felt because you actually opened my eyes on that. That she was probably lying all along about that. That she was okay with Osha joining the Jedi Order. Who knows?
Hmm. Yeah, okay, so I think it's Mother Anastasia,
Okay.
as I think she would want to, like you mentioned how she talked to Osha, I think she'd want to kind of get her revenge and kill the four masters that kind of ruined the village, right? And took her from them.
Yeah.
My theory, I'll go into predictions about that, but that's why I think it's Mother Anastasia. And then when we mentioned the phones, with the bracelets and such,
Yeah.
I think it is her.
Okay.
That's just me. I don't know.
No.
I'm asking as small evidence as I've seen, but that's what I think.
It makes the most sense because, like I said, I've had this talk with other people, and in reality, the show's really showing us the other side of what it is to be a parent and losing your child from the Jedi.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just think it's interesting if
I
that's
like
the
that. Yeah.
reason for revenge, and also too,
Mm.
what did the Jedi do as well? Because we don't know what they did to the Witch Coven. We don't know if the Witch Coven tried to attack the Jedi or something to make it look like to kill them off quick or something,
Yeah.
or we don't know
That's
what they're
something I
planning.
don't. Yeah, and that's something I wish I want to just blurt out, but
Yeah,
I don't have anything to make a great prediction towards, So
yeah.
we'll have to see it
Okay.
unfold. Um, Going into real quick, anything you specifically really liked about this episode?
Yeah, I really like the change in May about how she decided to. That she just wanted to leave
Do
the.
you think it was too sudden?
No, I think it was a perfect time because here's the thing:
Okay.
everyone needs to realize that May didn't know Osha was alive. May really thought she killed Osha. So when, obviously May did start
That's
the
right. Yeah.
fire and stuff like that, which she was kind of a little
Mm,
rude for that, But uh,
yeah.
I just feel like now she has her family back, and now she's just like, whoa, like I don't even need to do this anymore. There's no need for this. Why do I need to seek revenge if I know my sister's alive? That's all she
Mm,
wants, really, her sister. And then I don't know how Osha really feels about it because Osha's already like, well, she's a murderer. I don't know if she's trying to hide her feelings to Master Soul
yeah.
about that. And Master Soul kind of sees right through her, and he's like, "You're not really over this." Like, and that's why Yord was even like, "This isn't just for May. This is for you, like to face your
Mhm.
feelings, because this has always been a trial for you while we were in the Jedi Order as younglings." So
Yeah.
I don't think what May did was too sudden. I think it was a good time because, like I said, she just saw Osha and she had time to process all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think?
Yeah. I liked. I'm going to mention it. It's like the end of that horse, but I like the world building. It's
Okay,
because it's something I really appreciated with Endor. So
yeah,
seeing it translate and continue to translate into this project has been neat.
yeah,
We kind of got it a little bit. No, I kind of would have wanted more in Obi-Wan, like the
yeah,
same way. But again, this is his own thing. I'm appreciating that, like you mentioned, the character dynamics there. And the thing we mentioned from the first episode that we made this was we loved the theme and contrast between the two.
mm-hmm.
It's like a big balance, and like you mentioned, with our bigger theme in which there's the father, the son, and the daughter. There's
Yeah,
a big balance. If there's one that's weighing in a lot, then the other is time is to come soon. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of themes that we could pull from there.
mm-hmm.
Um, Again, I like uh, the horror movie shots of seeing Kanaka, which
Yeah,
I'll get to what I dislike, but the whole movie shots of him being like slaughtered, May having the lighting go from light to dark, and
that
then
was good.
seeing the mysterious figure
Yeah,
just float down, and the
yeah.
sound too. It was like what?
Yeah, the music was
So
pretty terrifying. I don't know.
oh my
It made you,
gosh,
it did a good job because I thought the person was in there and was about to kill May
yeah,
or reveal, So I was like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
a little creepy.
yeah,
I was like, I like this. I
yeah.
was like, that's a good vibe. So now I'm just ready for episode 5 and 6. It's crazy that it's to episode 8, so it makes you wonder what the next 4 episodes are going to be about. One of them's for sure going
Yeah.
to be the flashback scene, and it's going to probably explain everything about whoever this person is
Mm.
and why they did what they did and everything. So there's going to
And
be
before we
that.
go
And
into that, anything you disliked in particular about the episode? Because I know you
uh,
liked it when we talked about it right after the episode. Yeah.
yeah, I liked it. I didn't think anything too bad about it. Like I said, I mean, is there some stuff forced in the writing? Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, that you're gonna have that in every movie, every show, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Mm.
But yeah, it was just that, really that. It was a really
Yeah.
straightforward episode, which is cool. But I just kind of wish I was like, this felt really short. Like what you said.
Very straightforward, and like
Yeah,
I texted you after. I was like, "What? That's it?" Like
yeah,
I didn't feel like anything significantly or
right,
drastically occurred,
yeah,
and yeah, we moved forward. And I was like, "Oh, I was just moving. We're setting up the next episode, which I can't be mad about, but like I told you, I've not been a fan of the editing
yeah,
or
yeah.
of the project.
It just ends with a giant force
Um,
push, and you're like, what the
yeah.
heck? And you're
So
like,
what?
yeah.
All right, I'm going to predictions heading into next week. Do you have anything in particular?
Yeah, definitely. I think next
I
week.
think let's talk about the mysterious figure. Like, can you definitively say who it is or who you think it is?
But yeah, it's probably one of the moms Yeah, that's
So just
yeah,
going with
yeah.
the moms.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go with one
okay.
of the moms. Yeah, it definitely has to
Okay.
be. 'Cause there's too much personal relationship in this, and it revolves
Hmm.
really around May and Osha, and it reveals around the Jedi a lot too, and the specific Jedi's that were there. So it's definitely
Hmm.
that. It's that family thing because to me, Star Wars has always been about the family drama. It's always going to be centered around a family. Like Rogue One was
Yeah,
really about the group, but it was also about Jin and her dad. So that's one
I
example. And
agree.
then obviously the Skywalker saga is always about the Skywalker family. You know what their drama
Yeah,
and everything. So with this series, it makes sense that now we're following a Jedi, right? But we're following her side of the story and her family with their
yeah.
problem. So
Yeah. The big thing with me is I'm gonna say it's Moda and Isaiah, just so we have a prediction there.
okay.
My questions just stem from did someone kind of help bring her back to her baseline?
Probably. Probably.
Or was it the master?
What?
Because our whole big thing is okay. So let's say is there an acolyte, an apprentice, and then the Sith master, if there is, so I can't pinpoint who it is, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Who is the acolyte? Because it seems like May doesn't even want to be the acolyte.
Yeah.
Maybe the acolyte is the mother that I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's because another thing that I found out as well, and I found it was that Leslie, the writer and like the creator of the show, she had mentioned that there's always three. So there are not always three.
Okay.
There's three. There's the acolyte, the apprentice, and the master. So
Yeah.
so I'm thinking whoever this person that we just saw is the apprentice, and if that is Mother Asenya, she was rescued by the master. Maybe that could be a theory.
Yeah, possibly. That's like asking as Charles at this point, episode 4. And like you were kind of getting into, what do you think episode 5 is? Is there another flashback or what?
I think episode 5 is the fight / the reveal.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna see people die. It's gonna I don't know. If we don't see people die, I mean, I'm not someone that wants death.
Oh, please don't be my
No.
Master Pro twin.
No. Well, I might be.
This is definitely going to be those.
But it really has to show the stress and the severity of the situation. And if we have
Definitely.
that'll be cool. But I think that's gonna happen. The main fight's gonna happen. Something happens where the reveal happens. Maybe the helmet gets broken or something. And then they were like, "Oh my God, it's you!" Whoever it is. And then from there, they go from that. And then the next episode of that is probably the flashback. Episode 7 might be the reveal and like the main flashback. And then episode 8 is the finale. All right. Okay, my bad. Episode 6 might be the flashback. Episode 7 might be more of the story, and then episode 8 will be the more
Like
of the
7
story
and
as
8.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, but 7 being the final product, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And then from there, we'll see how they end the show. Whether it ends with just one season, or if it ends saying that like this is the birth where Plagueis comes in. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I really don't know. I don't want to make assumptions because I'm not 100% trying to defend anything. I just like the show that I'm watching. This is something new, and I think.
Well, I think we're fair, and we're fair, and we kind of want to see it all fully visualized before we make our full assessment there.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said, if this show's gonna have a bad ending, then it's gonna have a bad ending. I'm not gonna be happy with it. Again,
You'll see us here critiquing it to the death because we didn't like it.
And then we'll look back at this and be like, look how like happy we were because we thought it was gonna be this, or it could be the opposite. It could be the best thing ever, and we'll be like, look how crappy we were reviewing this kind of harshly, But at the end of the day, it is that editing though, and I think if you keep that in mind that it's edited like a movie, it makes a lot more sense. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, like it does feel kind of off. Like who ends something like that, But
we'll see. Any other things you want to mention before we wrap up?
No. I think that's pretty much it. We pretty much hit everything. Besides the lore stuff, really, like I said, like I feel like we have a very good understanding of it. It's kind of like, we get it. It's like it can be kind of annoying to people, but at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff's from Legends, and this is Disney. Disney owns it now, so they can decide whether they want to keep it or whether they want to keep it and make it canon or make something else canon and just expand on that story. And and I trust Filoni. A lot of people don't like Filoni right now. Everyone's saying that he's. I don't know what they're saying. They're saying the worst about him though, and I just feel like. I'm not trying to like defend him just to defend him and be like, oh yeah, that's my guy. No. I'm sticking by him because I know he is a fan and he actually cares and he
Mhm.
talks to George Lucas. So if anybody knows what George Lucas would want, it's him. And George Lucas has told him he liked Kenobi. He liked shows that a lot of people didn't like. So that's just interesting to me, So
Mhm.
I just keep that in mind. And then who knows? Maybe one day George might come out saying, "I really like this show," and
Right?
what'll happen then?
Yeah. Definitely. So I think that wraps up things for our episode 3 of the Project Stardust podcast. We are wrapping up from episode 4, day. Maybe episode 5 is called night. We'll see.
Mhm.
Right? That's to be told and to be discussed next week as we talk about it again. So we appreciate your time and thank you so much.
Thank you. We have to wait a week. That sucks.
All right. See ya.